Look guys, I know I shouldn't start every single episode by telling you just how many goals Erling Haaland scored, but I'm gonna have to. Because less than 3 months into the season, Erling Haaland has already scored more goals than our top club goal scorer last year for the whole season. Because Erling Haaland is on 24 freaking goals. And the best part of that is, he hasn't scored a single one in the livecom. So what are we doing in this universe that makes him not score? Which one of you is doing some voodoo magic every single time I turn the camera? Be honest. Hi guys, MrSpaceman reporting for duty and welcome back to another chance for Erling Haaland to prove that he's actually a top goal scorer and he can score in live com games. And thankfully he is starting today, and thankfully we are taking on a very good team, although not the best, so hopefully we should be scoring lots and lots of goals against them. But Erling Haaland is on fire. He scored 24 goals this season, which is kind of obvious, you know, he was going to score that many games. He's done that in 11 appearances, and that's a lot of goals. He's already almost equaled what he did last year in the Premier League, and to be fair, the league was just much bigger, but he's also doing it in the Champions League as well, with 3 goals in 4 appearances in the Champions League. However, he has now 0 goals in 4 episodes. What is going on? And as for the big question is Bayer 04 good enough to stop us from scoring? They still have Tapsoba somehow. For whatever reason, he hasn't moved to a better club. And so has Piero Hincapié. He's also at the club, which is kind of weird. They've also actually managed to sign Rooney Bardghji. That's kind of cool. Palacios is still there, which is, again, absolutely insane. Lots of these players are staying at the club, which is almost awesome and impossible to see. But the most important thing is that Xabi Alonso has been sacked 4 years almost into... Well, actually, no, only 3 years into his reign. And he currently sits unemployed after failing at Union Berlin as well. And that means today we're going to have to take on Zsolt Low, who is actually a decent manager. Who has he managed before? Apparently he was a Chelsea assistant manager that I forgot about. And he actually never managed in real life before. He was the assistant manager to, I assume, was Tuchel. Yeah, because Paris Saint-Germain, Chelsea, Bayern Munich. And then in this universe, he kind of did a little bit with Mainz and then instantly moved to Bayer 04, which is not a bad career change. I would love that for sure. But this guy looks quite good. He's good at working with the youngsters, good with everything else, and he will play a very cautious 4-4-2, which you can't see. But yes, he's going to have to put all his tactical acumen to the test, as he's going to test himself against the mighty Partizan and the mighty Erling Haaland, because he scored a lot of goals. Yeah, since that last game against Vigo, where we won 4-1, where he didn't score, which was disappointing, he scored against Mladost, so I guess he can only bully the smaller teams. Okay, with goals coming from Saldania, Haaland, and Sasa Serenic. Then we managed to destroy Crvena Zvezda, and this guy was present for that game as well, with a double for Haaland, a goal for Barco, and a goal for Lemke. Everyone playing some beautiful football all together. Čukarički 2-1. This time, Haaland is not on the score sheet, but he played okay. Milovanovic and Federico Acornero back from an injury, which is nice to see. Nice was easily dispatched with lots of goals from Haaland again. Double from Haaland, double from Acornero, and a single goal from Lockie Deans, who's still trying to catch up, but I don't think he's going to catch up 24 goals in 6 months. I don't think so. TSC was a bit released because we rotated the side quite heavily, and Haaland did not play. And I did this because I was going to be nice to Antic, only to find out that Antic is not at the club. And thankfully, I did check. I was worried. Was he sacked? The answer was no. He's actually managing PAOK, which is really cool. That's a big boost for him in, I guess, his career. At 36-year-old, he's currently managing quite a decent side. His reputation is going high. His rating is going high. And all this stuff is looking good. So if he keeps studying his Continental A licenses, I think the next one is Pro. I think this guy is already taking on like the top tier of football. Whereas PAOK currently in their division, they're currently 4th, and last year they finished 4th. So they're kind of trying to build this team back up again, but he's getting some Europa League experience, which is really nice to see at this moment in time. But yeah, they're currently sitting 4th with, to be fair, only 4 points away from Olympiacos. 9-1 against Borac. This was a cup game. Borac are not really even in anywhere. If you know where they play, please do let me know. But it was a 9-1 victory. I'm pissed off that we conceded, but we had this guy making his debut, our young player who's joined the club last year, I think last year's intake, so kind of makes sense for him to concede against almost a non-league side. Lots of goals from players from in and around the squad. As you can see, Muric played, Reina played, Tasic played a game. Joseph Champness came back and scored very good goals and lots of assists. So are we going to see him much this year? I mean, the answer is no. He still has some potential. I'm trying to loan him out, but no one wants him. Lots of goals scored again against Textilac, and this time Erling Haaland scored 5. 5 goals. Yeah, he's scary. 4-1 against Club Brugge. Again, I think we've conceded a goal every single game, pretty much apart from Crvena Zvezda, which was kind of annoying, with another goal from Erling Haaland, which is hilarious. Radnički was finally dispatched 5-1 with goals from Esteval, Saldania, and Bolaños. And this time, again, Haaland wasn't playing because I think he had an injury or something. I'm not really sure, or I was just letting other players play. And now, after me finally being able to take a breath, we're taking on Bayer 04. Exciting stuff. I hope you're excited, because we've played them twice before, once in a friendly and once during a league phase, apparently, in 2029. Wait, that was last year, wasn't it? Cool, and we drew with them. And if I was the manager of Bayer 04, I would probably try and leave, because this side looks pretty good. And we're gonna start with Ederson in goal, who's a little bit unhappy that I'm playing Lucas Gabriel instead of him, so hopefully this is not gonna be an issue at some point in the future. Beas on the left-hand side, Lukeba, Lemke, and Cesar Augusto, who's still pissed off and he still wants to leave, and I want to strangle this man. In the midfield, we'll have Gavi, Monero, and Deans in the middle three, because Teklak is unfortunately injured, and so is Barco, which is kind of sad as well. Milovanovic is going to partner Serenec as the left and right wingers, and up front, Erling Haaland will be leading the line with 24 goals. Interestingly enough, this year, we have a bit of a smaller spread in terms of goals, with Haaland getting the bunch of them at 24, Deans at 14, and Saldania still somehow at 10. And even Acarnero and Bolaños are above Esteval Milovanovic. So I'm a little bit disappointed, I'll be honest, but Milovanovic is playing great. I think he's getting lots of assists this year. As you can see, 5 and 5 already. So maybe that's his new role now, is just to be that kind of top scorer plus assist player for Erling Haaland. And you know, there are worse fates in this universe than to play with Erling Haaland. So to make our lives much easier, we're playing at home, which is going to be terrifying because every time we play at home, we score much more than when we play away. Makes sense. We have amazing fans like you guys to help and support us. And they have a 4-4-2 to try and stop us. They have Kuol, which is interesting. That's the New Zealand mad lad. Was he New Zealand? No, Australian mad lad. So who is madder? Kuol or Lachlan Deans? I guess this game will show. So now the main question is, will Erling Haaland score today? The answer may surprise you. Actually, yeah, I don't even know actually anymore, because at this rate, historically, he's proven that he can't score during kind of these live comms. But at the same time, he's a big, great, immense top scorer. And if he scores today, it'll finally break that kind of duck that I've been trying to destroy. But anywho, Lachlan Deans will find Beas on the left-hand side, who's going to cross. I see Haaland's name, and it does not matter, because everyone will score instead of Haaland, with Jonas Kostman scoring an own goal in the 8th minute. That is unfortunate for him. Very, very unfortunate, with Deans finding a great pass to Beas. That's a beautiful left-footed pass. And Beas put a beautiful cross for Haaland. Unfortunately, Kostman was also running and celebrating, which is hilarious. And they're down to 1-0 with 0 shots on target from us. Now that's efficiency. Erling Haaland finds himself in lots of space, running against 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players. Is smart, finds Lockie Deans, who finds the crossbar. And this guy is just, he doesn't care. He's sad that it didn't go in. But a man who's on 14 goals this season from the midfield is showing to us that you can be an amazing midfielder and score goals without having to defend. Although in this case, we should have defended a bit better, because Onyeg Bule just scored a very simple kind of counterattack with lots of players back to cover. I guess he was not in a position to mark who was a Gavi, and it was Cesar Augusto. I mean, good finish as well, not gonna lie, but again, 15 minutes in, and again, another goal we concede. We're not looking good at the back, which is interesting because we signed two very strong center backs What is going on here? As Kuol is going to find some space down the left-hand side. Hincapi finds Tapsoba. Can we press them out or will we struggle? The answer may surprise you, but we do kind of press them out. There's a lot of players in those zones. And I am kind of worried as they are playing some very nice football. I guess Javi Alonso is still the manager. Lemke will find Sasa Serenic, who will drop back to right back for whatever reason. Cesar Augusto will find Gavi, and we can play it out. There's space down the left to play. We're gonna skip Beas and go to Milovanovic straight away, who's going to find Sasa on the right-hand side. Find Deans if you can. He doesn't. Brings it back to Milovanovic, who finally decides to involve Beas, who is going to be our creative player. And finally, Gavi scores is what I wanted to say, but he doesn't. Okay, an interception of ours as Monero picks up the ball, finds Gavi, who had a very disappointing shot a second ago, and he has another very disappointing pass. The guy's not doing super good for us, despite the fact that, well, he's a very world-class player. As Cool in lots of space. Is there an offside shout? And will Bayer04 bounce back? This is bizarre. What is going on here, folks? I guess going back to a more natural formation kind of ruins the way that Partizan has been playing, but 2-1 against Bayer04, arguably against the run of play, and arguably in between the fullbacks and the center backs. And Kuhl is showing that he's better than Deans at least today, and I don't really believe that, but how close was that offside? Beas, no! Oh no. Well, we need to do something because nothing is working, but Serenic has a chance, knocks it down to Lachlan Deans, who will instantly, and I say instantly, equalize because, you know, he was really annoyed by Kuol for what he did, and Lockie Deans brought a goal back. They may be teammates in real life, but, well, I say in real life because Deans unfortunately doesn't exist, but he does manage to bring Partizan back. He doesn't care. He is our next best player after Erling Haaland. And Haaland still didn't score. I feel like we need to figure out Gavi as a football player because he doesn't seem to be contributing that much. I do wonder if me playing with a deep line playmaker and no ball winning midfielders does kind of ruin my midfield zones. Something I need to consider. But Sasa Serenic, though, will find Deans again. And Sasa and Deans unite. And that doesn't go in. That does not go in. How did he miss it from there? His other chance was 600 times more difficult than a simple tap-in. I guess he's a bit flustered. But at the same time, oh man, I am really disappointed. As Onyek Bule will lose the header against Lemke. Deans will pick up. Monero is there again. Finds Lemke, who will try to play the ball out. There's Deans here with lots of space. Haaland's making a run. He does time it. Cesar Augusto, can you put something in the box? He hits the first defender. And now there's a counterattack down his side. Cesar Augusto is annoying, but Haaland does his fair share of defensive work. He's not just a simple player. He's also a very good player as the keeper saves a shot from Gavi. And this game is interesting. This game is entertaining. And this game is not going in our favor. I don't like this 2-2. I want things to be better. And again, we don't clear the first player. We need to work on our set pieces. Beas will find Gavi, who will find Milovanovic, who I want to see a bit more involved in the game. And I am thinking and I'm looking that we may need to do something with Gavi. Once again, we have an issue where the triangles are looking good with this player. But then what the hell happens here? We need a player in this zone a little bit just to link up our play better, because I feel like in transition is where we're getting kind of wrecked. He's dropping a little bit too high, which kind of makes sense because I told him to attack. So it's my fault, and I know it's my fault, because Lockie Deans can do what he wants, but Gavi needs to chill. And Haaland knocks the ball down to Tapsoba. I don't understand. Augusto, though, will make me understand by letting us go on another attack. Milovanovic finds Erling, who's in offside position, and Erling... Hell will freeze over before Erling Haaland scores for you guys. I don't understand. How is this possible? He cannot score to save his life. He's offside again in another livecom, and yet you turn the camera off and he scores a hat-trick. Like, literally, as an experiment, I want to just not play the second half, and then I'll tell you guys, Haaland scored a hat-trick. Like, it's not even funny, but I swear this is going to happen. But what's happening right now is that we're not playing well. We've only had one shot on target, which is something that's kind of weird, and obviously 2 goals because one of them was an own goal. But they have 2, and Ederson is not playing well. So we're going to make some changes. I'm going to tell the boys that I'm very, very disappointed. Our defense is playing really bad, but the game's not letting me press it. And what I'm going to do is probably drop... what do I want to do? Box to box potentially with Gavi. Let him drop a little bit lower. I mean, I know he's still doing the same thing as Mazala, but I feel like he's going too much into these zones, and I want Gavi to kind of run up and down a little bit to link up the play potentially. And that way, at least there's, you know, instead of just one player at the back, maybe like 1.5 or like almost like 1 1/3 player at the back. But yeah, so far things are going awful. I'm going to take off Augusto because he's really, really annoying me, and I'm going to put Gilson instead. And apart from that, the only thing that's worrying me is Andres Baez is on a yellow, which can only mean one thing because he's playing against Bardaji. He's going to get hurt, and I don't have a good sub for him. So I'm going to actually put Serenic as a wingback, and I'm going to bring on Estevao instead. Hopefully this will address some of our issues, but we will have to wait and see as Lemke wins the header, and Milovanovic is going to turn on the afterburners, I said, as he launches the ball forward. Gavi, though, getting stuck in, finds Lockie Deans, who's going to run with a bit of space, and Milovanovic has dropped way too low. He hasn't recovered into his position, but he doesn't care. He's just going to run down and down and down. Now, can you put in a beautiful cross? The answer is no. He finds Gavi in lots of space, who finds Palacios, and is that going to be the end of it? No, Lockie Deans is doing so much work. He's running, he's covering distances. I want to see just how much he covers. As Serenic, though, finds Erling Haaland, who hits the post. Milovanovic is there, and no, unfortunately not a goal. That was a beautiful chance. Gilson is also on a yellow. I feel like our wingbacks are struggling a little bit. Milovanovic will get to the header, and it does not matter if Haaland doesn't score. Dusan Milovanovic, the club legend, will. Lockie Deans and Dusan Milovanovic just do not respect, I guess, not even respect Erling Haaland. They don't even respect the fact that they need to play towards him. They're good players in their own right, and they will show it. As I don't understand how Haaland doesn't score, but I do understand how Milovanovic can. And with that out of the way, let's make some subs. So the first sub is obvious. We're going to take off Gavi and put in Yup. And I think we have just 2 more subs. Actually, even, 2 more subs that we can use. Haaland is tired, and I don't want to sub him off because I want him to score a goal. Milovanovic, though, he needs a break. So Acornero is going to come on instead of him. And apart from that, I think I'm going to change Serenic for Benzinger, just because we need some pace down the left-hand side. We're playing against Rooney Bardaji. I think, is he still playing? No, he's gone off. So maybe I should have probably chilled out with that and maybe subbed off some of our other players. But for now, things are going okay. I mean, the scoreline is very weird. They've had 2 chances and they scored 2 goals, which is more of a, I guess, Ederson issue than anything else. As Yap, though, will find some space. Is he going to cut in and shoot? He does, and he hits the keeper. And once again, the keepers are having a great game against Partizan. We are on the struggle bus, I think, a little bit. I want us to be a bit more confident and concede a bit less. Is that too much to ask? I think so. Acornero, though, this could be the last chance for Haaland to score. You have to put in a very nice cross. Take a deep breath and put in a beautiful cross. He does. He's going to find Haaland, and Erling Haaland scores a goal. He finally did it, boys. He exists. He is not only a player that can score when you're not watching. He can also do it on the big occasions where all of you guys are watching. And if that doesn't deserve a like, I honestly, genuinely don't know what does. Hit that like button and tell me, I think the most important thing you need to tell me is, why the hell does he not do that more often? I can't believe it. Literally, I will play some games in between this game and the next episode, and I will come back and tell you that right now he's on 25, he'll be on 125. Why does that make sense? But today's game, we absolutely dominated Bayer 04, but we did concede some easy chances, which I don't like to see. Augusto played bad, and Ederson played bad as well. And I guess in their case, some of their defensive players played bad as well. Anyways, guys, we are so good that we've managed to secure playoff spots already. And the other team is actually the team that we're going to be playing in the next episode, because we are playing AC Milan, right? We're playing AC Milan, and they're also the only other team that are unbeaten, which is very, very interesting to see. Did they buy or sign anyone that makes them special? They're managed by Marco Rose, and I'm not sure if I remember if that's the same guy that managed them before. But the only thing that they've done this year is take on loan a certain player from Partizan that hasn't been getting any recognition because I just refuse to play him and I bring him out on loan all the time. But Lulzim Marku is a player that is currently doing quite well, I think, for AC Milan with a 7.07 average rating. And although he's not getting as much assists or anything else. So let's just say for the purposes of the video that he is the key player for AC Milan, because this team is currently playing 4-2-4. Another team that's playing 4-2-4. I kind of don't understand. They do have an 18-year-old keeper who is their first team keeper. That is interesting. Is he one of their own? He isn't. They signed him for 3.3 and he looks like this. Okay. That's really cool. No, I respect that. That's really, really cool. Right, what is gonna happen now? Well, I'm going to play the Radnički Javor Sparta game off camera, and in the next episode, which will be on Monday, I will play AC Milan, go on holiday, and then obviously play the January 2 fixtures against Paris Saint-Germain and Real Madrid. I did not expect this to happen. So that'll probably be a double game episode at this rate. Not really sure, depending on how much transfers I do. But anyways, the next game will be the AC Milan game. We're playing away. We need to think about what we're going to be doing with our defense and attack, because so far it's kind of not working. There are links everywhere, but it's just not being perfect. I think another thing I'm going to do from now on is put Lemke as a cover person, just to kind of cover a little bit for these a bit more faster players. And apart from that, I don't really know. Maybe drop the line a little bit. Is that something that we're going to do? But it's not even that high. So I don't really understand. So anyways, guys, Haaland has scored 25 goals. He's even scored today for you guys live, so you know how good he is. But it's time for me to end this video. I hope you had a fantastic day. I'll see you guys on Thursday, I think, as long as I'm not getting my dates wrong. And I'll see you guys in the game against AC Milan in San Siro. Really cool stadium. I wish I can see it before it gets demolished. Bye, guys.